What's up, guys? I'm Jim Ansell from Real Deal Outdoors TV, and this is a segment that we call The Juice. Now, what we do in these videos is we break down all the hot new products that are available right now on shopkarls.com. We've got an awesome lineup of products for you guys this time around, so let's jump right in and we'll have a look. Okay, guys, so this first lure that we're taking a look at here is the GOOGAN Little Juicy Jig. And this is a collaboration with 𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏. It's basically a downsized version of that original regular sized juicy jig that was previously released. And so what you're left with here is a smaller, much more compact finesse style jig. Now the skirt that comes on this jig is designed a little bit differently. It's a silicone skirt like you get on the other jigs, but it's built to attract finicky pressured bass. Now one of the differences that kind of sets this skirt apart is the flaring silicone ring around the head. And really it acts like a collar of these whiskers around the head of this jig, and they flutter both on the fall and when this thing is sitting still on the bottom with minimal current. Now another feature on this jig that you find on all the other GOOGAN Squad jigs is this U-shaped weed guard. Now of course that U-shaped weed guard is going to do its job and it's going to help prevent snags and stuff like that, but moreover what it's going to do is when a bass bites down on this jig, it's going to bend a whole lot easier, which is not going to impede your hook set as much. So you're going to get a higher hookup ratio. And then what you've got to round this whole package out is you've got this really nice, sturdy, sharp hook. And that should give you great penetration and a nice solid hook set. Now the little juicy jig is going to be perfect for you guys to pair up with like a tube, maybe a buoyant soft plastic like your Ned Rig style soft plastic baits. A 𝗙𝗏𝗶𝗶 bug would be perfect for this, or a small creature bait. Really anything that's less than 4 inches in size should work really well with this jig. And this jig comes in several different sizes and colors so that you guys can match to your specific fishing needs. Now you want to keep in mind when you're rigging this up that it is a finesse jig. It's a smaller jig. So you're going to want to stick with gear and line that's going to have the least amount of impact on this lure's action. 10 to 17 pound fluorocarbon would be a perfect line option for this. Then you'll want to pair that up with like a 7-foot to a 7'6" medium to medium heavy casting rod. That's going to help you guys detect bites a lot better. It's going to give you the maximum sensitivity. Alright, so what we've got here next is a JENKO Trapline Rip Knocker. And this is a really innovative take on that original Rip Knocker. And what this is it's a line-through version of a lipless crank. Now this line-through technique of fishing a lipless crank has been kind of a pro secret for years. And there are a couple of advantages to fishing it this way. For one, it's going to allow easier movement through grass when you're fishing cover. But what's more is it's going to take the leverage away from the fish. They're not going to be able to shake this lure as easily. Now bass are notorious for shaking your traditional lipless cranks by using the weight of the lure to their advantage. Now the Rip Knocker has a detached hook, which is attached directly to your main line. That allows you to keep direct pressure on the fish and it eliminates the lure's weight from the equation. Now the Trapline version of this lure also features that signature knocking thud that you get with the original Rip Knocker. And you still get the same streamlined baitfish profile body. And finally, the Trapline Rip Knocker comes in several different color patterns so that you can match the hatch for your local area. Now this is a 5/8 ounce bait. You're probably going to want to throw this on something like a 7-foot to 7'6" medium moderate action rod. And typically the longer the rod, the longer your casts are going to be. So if you're really trying to cover a lot of water, you're probably going to want to stick with something closer to that 7'6" length. Alright, next up we're taking a look at the GOOGAN Squad Junior Scout. And this is basically just a scaled down version of its bigger brother, the GOOGAN Squad Scout. This version of the lure comes in at 3.5 inches and it looks and swims like a real darting baitfish. Now because this is a more compact lure with a lighter body, you're probably going to be better served to throw this on a spinning rod with lighter line. Now this would be a fantastic bait for you guys to throw whenever the bass are feeding on minnows or shad. Like all the other lures in the GOOGAN Squad line, this has that reflective GOOGAN eye that gives off a little added flash. And integrated on each one of these baits is a lateral line. And that touch of added realism can go a really long way when bass are skittish and they're deciding what to bite while they're feeding. And for some added intrigue and fish attracting ability, the Junior Scout has a set of internal rattles that are positioned under the belly. This is going to help call fish in from a distance or in dirty water, and it's going to entice them to bite this lure. So your Junior Scout is really going to perform best when you're in cool, clear water and when you use a twitch, pause cadence on the retrieve. You just have to remember that when you're using this lighter line with this treble hook presentation, you need to lean into your hook set rather than taking that big swing. Alright, lastly, we've got a brand new line of rods here from JENKO Fishing. These are the Gambler Deceiver casting rods. And what JENKO have done here is they've really combined strength and durability to give you guys a fantastic, high quality fishing rod. You've got some very nice appointments on these rods, such as 𝗏𝗡's premium ring lock guides, a very smooth carbon fiber nut on the reel seat. You've got an ultra comfortable custom deceiver all-weather grip on this thing. It's going to make it really easy for you guys to keep a good grip on this rod in wet conditions. You've also got a rock solid foundation reel seat on all these rods, and that's going to give you guys the stability that you would expect from a higher end fishing rod, and it's also going to deliver awesome sensitivity and balance. Now, one of the really cool things about buying rods from Karl's is that you've got the opportunity to make payments here. So rather than paying it in one lump sum, you can spread these payments out over 3 months, and that's really going to help ease the strain on y'all's wallets. And these deceiver rods have an entire line of different variations to match up to certain situations. So from the 6'9" medium rod that can handle the lightest lures, all the way up to that 7'6" bruiser that can horse the biggest fish out of the thickest slop, the Gambler series really has something for everybody. Well guys, that's going to do it for this episode of The Juice. As always, thank you guys for watching. Hey, if you haven't already, make sure you subscribe to the Mystery Tackle Box YouTube channel. That way you can stay up to date with all the new content that Karl's Bait and Tackle and Mystery Tackle Box release. Also guys, if you enjoyed this video, make sure you smash that thumbs up button. That lets us know that you enjoy what's going on here. Then head on down in the comments section, drop us a comment guys. Let us know what your favorite product was from this episode of The Juice. Finally guys, if you really enjoyed this video, make sure you guys head over to my YouTube channel, Real Deal Outdoors TV, and subscribe over there. We're going to leave a link to that channel right down in the description. Well, thank you guys again for watching, and tight lines until next time.